Hey everyone, this is Malchazar returning with another installment in the Final Fantasy XIV story playthrough. Last we played, we got to defeat Shiva, the Ice Primal, who was summoned by Lady Iceheart, also known as Isael, that's her name. They are apparently the heretics who are consorting with the dragons, and Ishgard, as we are slowly learning, is constantly at war with dragons. So they see anybody who essentially hangs out with dragons as heretics because it's against their religion to do that. So actually, hang on. I've noticed that my green screen is off by quite a bit. Give me 1 second. Pro gamer move there. Not even noticing. So we're going to go ahead and talk to Moonbrita here and see what she has to say. Road less traveled. If you ask me, there's not to be gained from mulling over the implications of your story in the freezing cold. Let's save it for the rising stones, eh? I'll get everyone to meet us there. But before that, we had best pay a visit to Whitebrim Front and speak with Alphino. He's probably worried sick about you. That or he's busy playing at politics with the Ishgardians. Either way, I'm sure he'll be delighted to see you hale and healthy. Speaking of which, you don't have a headache or anything, do you? No? Lord Vision? Oh, no reason. See you again soon. Why'd you go that way? That's not the way to Whitebrim Front. Get that cake. We have in here. Might need to head back to a Grand Company location and I don't know where he is. He'll all closer at the bottom. In order to turn in all those items, so head back to the Grand Company. Get to the point where I'm still kind of full. Okay, well, apparently my Chocobo's not out. I know it's pronounced Chocobo, but I like mispronouncing things on purpose sometimes. I think it's funny. Alright, that's Alphino. Alright, standing next to Darth Corruptus was his name. There he is, and none were the worse for the wear. Was there ever any doubt that the Warrior of Light would succeed? I think I speak for us all when I say that I should like nothing more than to hear the stirring tale of your victory, if you would be so kind. Explain, and more explaining. Then we were too late to prevent the summoning. But not too late to prevent further loss of life, an outcome worthy of celebration. And one for which we have Malchazar to thank. Yes, you were right, of course, Sir Emmerich. We should be content with what we have accomplished. I, for one, could not have wished for a better outcome. Shiva is no longer a threat, and the heretics have been routed. Aye, there is the matter of Iceheart's escape, but she cannot run forever. Whether it takes days, weeks, or moons, or even years, my knights will find her. Okay, Emmerich. In the meantime, Lord Jolmont, is the caravan ready? The supplies that your men recovered have been prepared for transport in accordance with your wishes. Rest assured that my knights will see them safely to Revenant's Toll. Of that, I have no doubt. I take it these are the self-same supplies the heretics stole from the House Fort Tom caravan? Less the crystals which comprise the bulk of the shipment, yes. Scarcely a fraction of that which was promised, but a meaningful contribution to your cause all the same. Oh, on an unrelated note, Malchazar, might I trouble you to accompany me to Camp Dragonhead at your earliest convenience? It is not for my benefit. A certain lord was most distressed when he learned of your intent to risk life and limb to stop Iceheart. It took half a dozen knights to restrain him, I am told. A sigh. Men give vent to their anxieties in myriad ways. Pray do not think less of him. Oh, so I'm going to Dragonhead. I thought I was going to go to Rising Stones, but that's what Moon Breeda said. Zoom out. That's a little bit too close. And put on auto run. Ishgard. I like how when you fly it has hearts, and when you're not flying it doesn't have that. Harshfalm. What were you thinking, Malgazar? Wagering your very being on a dubious theory which might ally you to enter Iceheart's lair, knowing full well that she could have sufficient forewarning to complete her ritual to summon Shiva anyway? And then engaging the abomination in mortal combat. By the fury, Malgazar, 'tis the stuff of ballads, a battle for the ages. Would that I had been there to fight by your side. Yet here I was forced to wait, condemned to wonder at the fate of a dear friend for a veritable eternity. I would not wish such torture on my most hated enemy. But here you are now. Oh, I missed it. Sir Emmerich wished to have words with you and Master Alphino in private. He awaits us in the intercessory. Greetings, sir. I shall show you in at once. Let's see if there's some more voice acting coming. That'd be pretty dang nice.
On behalf of the Holy See of Ishgard, allow me to express my deepest thanks. Never before have we been required to contend with a primal. Indeed, there were fears in some quarters that our knights might not be equal to the task. From what we have now learned of these beings, I can say with certainty that we would have lost a great many men had the Scions not intervened.
Then the argument for preemptive action should be self-evident. Perchance now you will reconsider my proposal that Ishgard move against Natalan.
Ere we first met, a similar proposal was tabled, but the Holy See decreed that we were to observe, and that military action should be taken only in self-defense. All things considered, it was not an unreasonable decision. Since the calamity, 2 vigils have fallen to the Horde, while Garuda has never shown any inclination to storm the gates of judgment. Which is why this unprecedented crisis and its resolution may prompt a change in policy. You who have faced these primals know well the threat they pose. Ishgard did not. Not until now. And there is naught like a brush with death to change a man's outlook.
At the very least, this should silence any lingering objections to our arrangement with Revenant's Toll.
There were
The
objections?
Holy See may even feel moved to grant us its formal endorsement.
High hopes, man.
So far as it is possible, the Scions shall be compensated for their service.
We should be grateful for any aid you can provide.
As a gesture of good faith, I shall withdraw my previous request. Your people are doubtless needed elsewhere.
That will not be necessary. We too have a vested interest in watching Dravania's movements.
I see. Once more, I must thank you.
Sir Emmerich, if I may, do you truly believe that Midgard-Zoma could return?
The heavens are a window unto truth, but those who interpret their movements are not infallible. I requested your involvement as a precautionary measure.
But of course, you sought an excuse to compensate us from the first, mindful of what would happen if Revenant's toll were taken by your enemies. Ishgard is not wont to aid its neighbors, but that does not preclude it from manipulating them to serve its own interests.
Choose your next words carefully.
Do you know what sort of man becomes Lord Commander of the Temple Knights? One who comes from good stock. I did not. Yet here I am now. Why do you suppose that is? Because I swiftly learned to tell the difference between words, deeds, and beliefs.
I thought it was your pointy ears.
Correct, Master Leveilleur. Ishgard desires to see Revenant's toll flourish, as it would present a troublesome obstacle to our enemies from the south.
We are so glad to be of use to you.
As we are to you. Ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement, lest we forget, one born of necessity. The dragons grow more restless by the day, and the heretics harry us nigh without cease. We have contended with such troubles for centuries, but there are limits to even our endurance. Yet as a pauper is loath to part with his meager possessions, the leaders of Ishgard are not wont to render up their trust to outsiders. But with perseverance on our part, they may yet be made to see the light. Nevertheless, one must take care when walking the road less traveled.
Wise words, Sir Emmerich. I shall make a point to remember them. I must apologize for my earlier outburst. I hope it will not sour our good relations.
Not at all. You but spoke from the heart. I trust you understand that at times my duties may prevent me from meeting with you. On such occasions, my second in command will speak for me.
Lucia, at your service. Pray excuse our reticence. We are but wary of speaking too freely, lest our sentiments be made known to our enemies. Know that the Lord Commander and I are of one mind. For the sake of Ishgard, and of Eorzea at large, I pray our peoples can put aside their differences. Those who dwell in the past risk losing sight of their future.
Wise words.
Should aught befall one of our shipments, pray inform Lucia immediately. You may also relay to her any words you might have for me alone. Not being of Ishgardian birth, she owes no allegiance to any noble house, making her as near to incorruptible as one can find in my homeland. Suffice it to say, I trust her completely, and so may you.
Sounds like you're setting it up for failure.
Which
That's
reminds me, Lord Orchafon, if you would be so kind.
Certainly.
Here's my hand.
Times such as these, trust is ever in short supply. Mayhap this will go some way to rectify the problem. The results of our investigation into the heretics' recent attacks, as well as our interrogation of the merchant you detained.
Sir Emmerich, I cannot thank you enough.
Think nothing of it. Ishgard may be many things, but it is no friend to Garlemald.
Did I not tell you to have faith, my friend?
We're becoming BFFs. Instant turn in, or do I still need to talk to someone? Instant turn in. Boom. I have to wait for the next one to spawn. Oh, maybe not. Oh, there it is. Beautiful. It would seem we have much to discuss with our friends at the Rising Stones. If what you say is true, Iceheart's method of summoning Shiva defies all precedent. It necessitates a complete reappraisal of the primal threat and our approach to combating it. Moreover, there are grave ramifications if word of this incident reaches Imperial ears. The Garlean Empire believes that primals are an insufferable menace, that their mere existence is a threat to this very star. As such, they deem any action taken against the beast tribes to be justified by default. Imagine, then, if it became known that it was not only the beast tribes of Eorzea that could summon primals, but her civilized peoples as well, any lingering objections to the Eorzean campaign would vanish overnight. Where before we had to contend with a single Imperial Legion, we could well find ourselves facing the combined might of all Garlemald. But I speak unadvisedly. Come, Alcazar, it is better that we continue this conversation in Mordona. If you insist. I guess. "25th BAM." It's funny names. Anything else in here? Gotta move some stuff around. And kaboom. Okay. Wonder when I'm clicking on other things if like the sound actually goes out for the recording. I don't really listen to them. Hi, Minfilia.
Words cannot well express how glad I am to see you return to us hale and whole. Needless to say, I am most eager to hear your account of that which occurred in Kurthis, assuming you're ready to speak of it. Excellent. I shall summon the others at once. Iceheart used her own body as a vessel for a primal soul?
Master Louisoir's writings make no mention of such a possibility. Can we be certain this entity was a primal?
As certain as we can be that good King Mogglmog the 12th was a primal, I should think. Both were ostensibly summoned.
Let's not quibble over definitions. Of more concern is the implication that Iceheart retained her will, even after she was possessed. We are talking about a mortal, wielding the power of a primal.
It can't possibly be that easy, can it? There must be some sort of sacrifice required. Or maybe she's just special?
What qualities this woman possesseth, I know not. But full sure am I that she was groomed for this role. Few are privy to the secrets of summoning, and but a single party standeth to profit from their dissemination.
Well, I wouldn't presume to comment on how the lass came to know about summoning, but I will say that what she summoned was a primal. The readings were the same, or near as damn it. Strange as it all sounds, it's really no different from what you've faced before.
Then mayhap it is time that we re-examined our previous encounters.
Pack your things, Ida. We're going back to Gridania.
Yes, sir.
About Iceheart's final words to you. Hear, feel, think. Hydaelyn speaks to her as well. If Iceheart is blessed with the power of the Echo, she will doubtless have used it to further her goals. Or could it be that it was a revelation granted her by the echo which first set her on this path? She did say that the Ishgardians were blind to the truth. Do you think she has knowledge of the origins of the Ishgardian-Dravanian War? It would do much to explain her unwavering conviction.
Did not the Lady Iceheart implore thee to seek the Keeper of the Lake? And did she not imply that in so doing thou wouldst come to see with eyes unclouded?
Midgard-Zoma was a king amongst kings who reigned for centuries on end. But he is dead and his wisdom lost to the ages. Unless the Ishgardians' fears are well-founded. It would seem we have yet another reason to stand watch over the Keeper of the Lake. For a mercy, we are well positioned to do so. Iceheart, Shiva, Ascians, and Midgard-Zoma. I shudder to think how they're all connected.
It's not that big a deal. And it totally is. I mean to scour the annals of knowledge of Midgard-Zoma. Given his great age, I dare say he appears in more than a few. Did you hear that? The commotion aside. Would you see if aught is amiss? I didn't hear anything. You must have fantastic ears. Salute. And walk away. Disappear. Malgazir, 'tis well that you are on hand. We have a problem. Rael has escaped. That happened shortly after the Immortal Flames took her into custody. She had been placed in a dungeon cell ahead of her coming trial, but apparently the accommodation was not to her liking. The turnkey was found slain along with 2 guards. 'Tis plain she received inside help. Citizens report seeing her quitting the city via the Gate of Nald with a bloodied spear in her hand. She makes for Castra Meridianum, I am certain of it. With her fate in Eorzea as good as sealed, what recourse has she but to flee to her imperial masters? Even as we speak, Captain Ilbert and the First are hot upon her heels. Pray make haste to Camp Bluefog and join the hunt. Are you gonna disappear too? Oh man. Ilbert. Thanks for coming, Scion. I have spoken with the soldiers here. They say that she walked through the camp not a bell ago. I actually walked right through. You did not mishear. We have Raban's decision to keep the matter secret to thank for that. Bad for morale, you said, or he said. As a result, not a single flame in the garrison made any attempt to detain her, and so here we are. You must not be allowed to reach Castra Meridianum. Oh, duty calls. Time to fight someone. This wretch with her, he threw himself at us that his mistress might escape. She didn't blink when we cut him down, not even when he started screaming. No loyalty even to her own, the goddamn harpy. With me, Scion, we almost have her. Everyone's a gladiator / paladin. Everyone has shields. Do not take me so easily this time. Enemy reinforcements. Look sharp, men. Show them not quarter. Yeah. Dang, there's a bunch of dudes. Boy, reinforcements. They really aren't paying me enough. Whatever you Hase. You down over there? Should be getting pretty close. Why are you still fighting her? She's like no health left. You Giri comments in. Forgive us our lateness. There they are. Some domins. We are in your debt. The circle fetters those who wander within. Lure the enemy to it. Alright, where's your circle? It paralyzes them. Ah, gotcha. Doma Jonine. Not at all. Alright, there we go. Would have gone fast if you guys switched targets after she went down to no health. Find her and do it tight. Yes, sir. Good work, men. Oh, hey, Alpha now. Showed up in the last second. She and her Imperial cronies pushed us close, but we were better. Behold, a respected officer of the Immortal Flames. People looked up to you as one of the Order's founding members, one of its pillars. It saddens me to see that you've fallen so low. What would you know of low? You a spoiled little lordling who has never known any want. Oh, she got you there. People such as you take wealth and birth for granted. You think it your God's given right to rule over others. You know not of our plight, the injustice that we lowbornish guardians must endure. The noble lords and ladies, we are not people, but resources to be consumed. I did what I had to do to survive, stealing, killing, even whoring myself. It is no fault of mine if fools imagined me a paragon when I joined the Flames. To hear you tell it, one would think you the only person ever to have suffered. In case you have forgotten, Raban himself was born in poverty, as was I. We lived hand to mouth with little more than shirts on our backs. Hunger was our constant companion. Yet never did we bemoan our lot in life, nor did we begrudge others their fortunes. We accepted the hand that we had been dealt and played it to the best of our ability. Life was a battle, but no matter what fate threw at us, we took it in the chin and came back for more. Everything we have, we fought for. How are we any different then? 'Tis true we were both mercenaries of lowly birth, and 'tis true that we both had our fair share of struggles. But whereas I sold my sword, you, Marshal, you sold your comrades. If life has taught me one thing, it is that you never betray your own. I would sooner cut off my own arm than raise a hand against a friend. But enough talk. You'll return to Ul'dah to face justice and the people whose trust you have been dragged through the gutter. You almost made it. Ding. Not so much as a hint of remorse. It is well that this sort of business is finally at an end. A friend's betrayal cuts deeper than steel. We must hope that we have chosen our own allies more wisely than Raban chose his.
I have heard. Truly bothersome business. No, I do not foresee a problem on that front. The main concern is Raban. There is no telling what the brute might do. Have the blades watch him in the flames day and night. You may leave the Sultana to me. I shall personally attend her grace. Sever one of the East Aldenard trade routes. That ought to keep Lolorito occupied for a while. Nanamo Ulnamo. For my sake, pray be a good little Sultana to the last.
His is an evil grin. Eh. Captain Ilbert and I have a few questions for the Flame Marshal regarding the circumstances of her miraculous escape. When we have completed our interrogation, we shall take our findings directly to General Raban, and that shall be the end of it. Your work here is done, my friend. My thanks. But I have one last task for you. Return to the Rising Stones and apprise Midphilia of all that has happened. I am aware that the antecedent held Rael in high regard. For better or for worse, she will want to know how this tale ends. I think there's actually like, yeah, I go to Mordona here. Take a little bit longer, but no problem. Ooh, there's a big dude over here. Oh. That's the song that keeps getting copyright claimed by someone who doesn't have rights to it. Exciting. Ah, that led me here. Interesting. Crystal Tower. There's Midgard Sormer. Trying to see what that is. Is that where Bahamut is? Oh. The Bahamut's like over here. Or at least that's where the quest for it is. just looks like that's where the meteor hit. That means that that's probably Cartano, which as far as I know is a zone you do not get access to. Really? I've been hanging out here for long enough and you're... There it goes. Why did it take so long to spawn the button? Uton. Okay, so as a ninja, one of your abilities is to give yourself a little bit of haste so you can attack faster. That's pretty sweet. Hello, Minfilia.
Welcome back, my friend. I have already received word from Alfino. To think that Flame Marshal Huayu was the Garlean agent.
Ryu? Is that how they pronounce it?
Together with Robon, Eileen lent us much needed aid at the time of our Order's founding. She was particularly passionate about the need to tackle the primal threat. When we discussed the subject, her eyes fairly shone with determination. Whatever else she may have been, I choose to believe that it was her true self with whom I spoke then. But now is not the time to dwell on such matters. I have an important announcement to make regarding our effort to defeat the Ascians. We shall begin as soon as everyone is assembled.
Where is everyone?
My thanks for coming, friends. Moonbreeder, the floor is yours.
By now, I'm sure you're all familiar with white auracite, the miraculous material that'll allow us to capture Ascian souls. Back at Snowcloak, we verified its ability to absorb vast amounts of ether. Alas, it leaves something to be desired in the area of stability. The stone can only store ether for a short while before expelling its contents.
In addition to auracite's inherent limitations, we must needs be wary of our enemy's strength. Our foe draweth upon an infinite wellspring of power. Even should we succeed in entrapping him, the stone will not long contain his wrath.
Meaning that, if we want to kill the swine, we'll have to be quick about it.
'Tis our belief that an Ascian soul may be permanently undone, if smitten by a sufficiently concentrated burst of pure ether.
The only trouble is, we can't say for sure how concentrated the burst needs to be. Without knowing how much ether an Ascian soul is composed of, we're basically guessing.
Our sole clue lieth in thy struggle with La Habrea.
During that encounter, Heidelin bid you forge what she called a Blade of Light, a weapon which took the form of a luminous stream of energy. Based on your description, we believe the blade with which you vanquished your foe was composed of ether.
Oh.
Admittedly, your victory proved ephemeral, as La Habrea was able to use a crystal of darkness to flee into the space that lies between our world and the void. The fact remains, however, that Heidelin placed the means to destroy the Ascians in your hands. Be that as it may, it would be unwise to assume that she will do the same when we next encounter such a foe.
Quite so, my lady. We must needs find the means to forge our own blade of ether, one to equal that which Heidelin did benevolently bestow upon her champion.
That is all well and good, but it seems to me that producing such a blade will require a prodigious quantity of ether. Whence will it come, pray tell?
Oh, what if we had two pieces of white auracite? One to trap the Ascian, and the other to store the ether for the blade.
Oh, nice try. But it's as I said, the stone won't hold ether for any length of time. We'd still need to collect the stuff there and then, sorry to say.
And therein lies the rub. Finding a way to create the blade whenever and wherever we choose.
'Twould seem more research is in order.
Do a spirit bomb.
I'm going to linger a while, perform a few more tests on the aura site. And I could do with some help. Urianger, why don't you lend me a hand?
Mine apologies, but I am required at the Waking Sands. Lady Minfilia hath given me sole charge of the premises. 'Twould be unseemly to leave them unattended.
Sole charge, you say? So you're basically alone there, then? Well, that settles it. I'll just have to come to you.
Everyone make weird movements.
While you were afield, word arrived from the Charlian motherland. You will recall that a survey party was dispatched to investigate the incident at the Isle of Val. What they discovered was troubling, to say the least. According to the report, the Isle has been erased from existence. 'Twas as if a hole had been torn in the very fabric of reality.
Aye, yet the mystery endeth not with the Isle's disappearance. It hath come to light that a number of scholars in various other locales were reported missing at a similar juncture.
What's more, they all had something in common with the head of the students of Baldessian. Every last one of them was researching a phenomenon called dimensional compression, or the rejoining as the ancient texts call it. I'll be damned if that's a coincidence.
All indications suggest Ascian involvement, but I sense that a force greater still is at work. The entity the Dark Beings call the One True God. We must pray that my dear friend Kryl regains consciousness soon. If she bore witness to the Isle of Val's final moments, she may be able to shed some light on this mystery.
Oh, Kryl, when do we get to meet you? You talk to me again? The other story?
Calamity. The forces of the 14th Imperial Legion entrenched themselves in strategic locations across Eorzea. So swiftly did they accomplish this, it was suspected that they had received help. To think that it came from Huayu.
Huayu? From Caillou?
There is more. We have reason to believe that Huayu didn't deal exclusively with the 14th. She also answered to a higher authority in Garlemald. But this higher authority could not have been the Emperor. By consenting to the media project, Solus Zos Galvus showed himself to be more concerned about preventing the spread of primal influence than claiming Eorzea for the Empire. He would happily have seen the lot reduced to ash. We believe a number of high-ranking figures within the royal household were against the decision, but that they knew better than to oppose the Emperor openly. Of course, this didn't prevent them from making clandestine provisions, in which Huayu played a part.
Huayu.
Alas, these provisions did not prevent Dalamud from falling, and the ensuing chaos changed the face of the realm forever. Yet Eorzea survived. To all intents and purposes, the Meteor Project had failed, and the Empire was left to rue its lack of a decisive means to eliminate the primals. Until, that is, it stumbled upon the Ultima weapon.
Even before the accursed thing was dug up, it seemed to me the 14th had the might to overwhelm our weakened armies. Yet they chose to hide behind their walls. Why?
The Black Wolf was wary of making the denizens of Eorzea desperate, lest more primals emerge to bleed the land. The discovery of the Ultima weapon, however, emboldened him to resume his war of conquest in earnest.
But there was one in Garlemald who believed that Van Belsar's actions were premature. One who stood higher in the Imperial Army's chain of command. He ordered the legatus to halt his advance, only to find that the Black Wolf had slipped its leash, and that the 14th now acted alone.
They went rogue.
In a bid to bring Van Belsar to heel, he used the agent he had planted in Ul'dah prior to the Calamity to undermine the Legion's efforts.
A man who outranks Van Belsar, yet opposed the late Emperor's decision to annihilate Eorzea. This could only be the former High Legatus of the Garlean army, now known as Emperor Varus Zos Galvus. So he was Huayu's true master.
But one of several in actual fact. We've learned that even as Huayu served the Empire's interests, she sold Imperial secrets to a certain faction in Eorzea. In so doing, she helped to maintain the status quo, thus prolonging the conflict. Considering who stands to profit from war, it isn't hard to imagine who her other masters were.
7 hells! You mean to say that she was a double agent?
Huh, triple, if you consider her services to Van Belsar and the new Emperor as separate.
As neatly as these pieces seem to fit, one aspect of the puzzle remains unclear to me. By whose will was the Marshal feeding intelligence to the heretics? And try as I might, I fail to see how aiding their cause would profit either her Imperial or monetarist masters. Could it be that another hand is at work here? If so, Huayu must be made to reveal whose it is.
Not only have I lost a trusted friend, now I must interrogate her as a stranger.
Not a pleasant task, I grant you, but a necessary one. Unless we weed out the ivy, root, stalk, and stem, it will simply grow back.
I know that full well. Those closest to Huayu have already been detained, and I will question them alongside her.
General, pray keep in mind that there may be unwitting abettors among them.
All will be treated fairly. On that you have my word. Those who are innocent have no cause to fear.
You have ever been a friend of truth, General. I hope the unpleasant task of weeding out falsehood will not detain you too long. Though it be for the sake of Eorzea, doubting one's comrades is poison to the soul. And with that, I take my leave.
All these years, I've been made to dance to their tune. How could you, Huayu? How could you side with them? Those cankers who take from this land and give naught in return, who use their power to disempower and grow fat while the people starve.
Epic music.
I know you can hear me, monetarist scum. Your crimes will not go unpunished. Today I will purge this land of your sickness before the eyes of the 12. I swear it.
Great voice acting right there. Oh, she is a Moogle and a Chocobo plushie.
I shall have no further need of you this day. Your Grace. I fear that not even mine own chambers shall remain private for long.
Has the situation grown so grim?
Ever since he proposed the Cartiner Reclamation Bill, Teleji Adeleji has risen to greater prominence upon the backs of impoverished refugees. The monetarists were ever united in their pursuit of profit, but the man's actions have torn a rift in their ranks. They snap at each other as rabid dogs. Yet now is not the time to be bickering among ourselves.
If this bickering is a threat to law and order, might you not have grounds to dissolve the Syndicate?
Would that the solution were so simple, Admiral. Alas, my moving to dissolve the Syndicate is certain to spark outrage among the influential merchant class, whom the Cabal represents. This would serve to exacerbate the current unrest, and peace would slip still further away. Be they rich or poor, natives or refugees, all who reside in Ul'dah have a right to pursue happiness. It is the duty of a ruler to protect this right. If I am to perform my duty, I must needs tread warily. It would not do to make enemies heedlessly. Were Lord Lolorito here, he would doubtless say that I have my head in the clouds.
A ruler is required to take a wide view. Try as we might to cater to all needs, some will inevitably be overlooked. As such, there shall ever be citizens who feel aggrieved. It cannot be helped. But as you have informed us, the monetarists take no view but their own. They hunger for power while the masses starve. In the absence of a common cause, it seems beyond any one individual to make Ul'dah whole.
And the presence of a Garlean agent within the immortal flames only makes matters worse.
This is a
Even
long...
accounting for Uldah's historic reliance upon mercenaries, such a grievous breach of security is unprecedented. I fear this business will provide the monetarists with a rod to beat Rauban.
I think this is the end of one of those post-Realm Reborn patches. That's why this is taking so long. It's good info.
Can ill afford for the immortal flames to be dampened now. Ere long, the Garleans will turn their ravenous gaze toward our lands once more. If we are to resist their might, our nations must stand together. Yet for this to happen, our nations must be whole. Cannot be done to improve the situation in Ul'dah.
The true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her citizens. Alas, the citizens shall never know these things, so long as their lives are ruled by the ambitions of the few. The monetarists claim to represent the best interests of the people, but in sooth they desire only to manipulate them for their own selfish ends.
In
For
sooth.
the government to serve the people, it must be formed of the people. For Ul'dah to move forward, it is not only the Syndicate that must be dissolved.
Nay, you jest.
My friends, it was for no other reason than to make known to you mine intent that I requested your presence here. When I make my declaration to the people, chaos shall inevitably ensue. As the last monarch in the line of Ul, I make unto you this request. Help Rauban to preserve order and protect the people. Forsake them, and you forsake yourselves. For a strong Eorzea will ever have need of a strong Ul'dah.
He's gonna step down.
Your Grace, are you certain of this?
There is no other way. When the time is ripe, the nation shall become a true republic. Both royalists and monetarists shall cease to be. Ul'dah will no longer belong to kings or queens or merchant princes, but to her people.
There were some nods in there.
Rauban, forgive me for casting aside all that you have toiled for in my name. Beyond this gesture, I am powerless to help my subjects.
Alright, and now we're on to patch 2.5. We'll have quite a way to go before we can get into the first expansion. I am most eager to address the Ascian threat, however, we dare not neglect our other pressing concerns. We both know full well that Saint Shiva will not be the last primal we face, and our relationship with Ishgard is still tenuous at best. To think that the resolution of the primal threat was once the sole priority of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, some days I wonder if it was wise for us to take on so many other responsibilities. Lest you forget, antecedent, the Scions need not shoulder the burden alone. Were not the Crystal Braves established for this very reason? True, we are presented with a multitude of problems, however, we have all the resources we need to address them in turn. Alexander in particular is ever a steadying hand, who I trust will continue to support the Braves. Where's my blue suit? To what do we owe the pleasure? Have there been any further developments regarding the situation in Ul'dah? As expected, the Immortal Flames have been struggling to cope with the revelation that one of their highest-ranking officers was a Garlean agent. Suffice it to say, Teleji Adeleji and his Monterist ilk have wasted no time in attempting to turn the situation to their advantage. Coupled with ongoing unrest, the Flames are finding themselves hard-pressed. Plainly, General Raban needs our help, and I will direct the Crystal Braves to offer what support they can. If I am to stay abreast of the latest developments and issue effective orders, however, I cannot afford to waste time traveling back and forth. And so, for the foreseeable future, I think it would be for the best if I were to remain in Ul'dah, unless you have an objection. None whatsoever. We have matters here well in hand. Umbreeda's research is proceeding as planned? So she tells me, though I am not familiar with the details. Oryanje is poring over his tomes at the Waking Sands, and the others are contributing in their own ways. Alas, the key problem, how to form an ethereal blade at will, remains unsolved. Nevertheless, it is only a matter of time. Algazar, while we focus on the task, mayhap you could assist Alphino and his Braves with theirs? It would do much to restore the faith in the Immortal Flames if the Warrior of Light was seen working hard on their behalf. Never forget that your esteemed status allows you to act in ways that those more tightly bound to organizations and nations cannot. As ever, I implore you to do so. Not that your response is ever in doubt, but I humbly thank you once more for aiding our cause. Now then, there are preparations I must attend to before my departure, such as receiving Riel's latest report. He has proven to be quite skilled at gathering information others wish kept secret, hence why I placed him under my direct command and ordered him to investigate the Ul'dah riots. When you are finished here, join me outside. Depending on what he has to say, I may soon have a favor to ask. If there are any developments on our front, I shall inform you at once in the usual fashion. I wonder if getting that, because I got an achievement for finishing that that patch. Yeah, Dreams of Ice, I got Icebreaker. That way you could throw that title on and people know, if that was your latest title, how far you are through the story just by looking at you. Riol. Pleasure as always, Malgazar. You'll be escorting the commander to Ul'dah, I take it? Actually, I had another task in mind for him. If you'd be so kind as to repeat your report for his benefit. Right then. Me and mine have been making inquiries into the source of the weapons what found their ways into refugee hands a ways back. So it happens we caught wind of something promising. A rather large purchase of sharp and pointy things by a black marketeer holed up near High Bridge. I doubt this man would have secured such a quantity of weapons if he did not already have clients waiting. Clients that, for whatever reason, would prefer for this transaction to remain secret. Brings to mind that merchant what caught an arrow while talking to Malcazar, don't it? A generous fellow he was, doling out swords and spears to the downtrodden and disgruntled. Which isn't to say that these clients have the same kind of mischief in mind, but if you want to be sure, it might be prudent to intervene before they collect their goods. Savvy? Seizing the weapons before they fall into the wrong hands would be for the best. However, if we strike at the appointed hour, we might capture the black marketeer as well as his clients. What say you, Malcazar? Let's do it. Yeah. Then it is settled. Rendezvous with Captain Ilbert at Highbridge and intervene when the exchange takes place. Now then, if you would excuse me, I must leave for Ul'dah. I expect good tidings. Okay, let's go talk to Senor Ilbert. Doesn't look like those wings would be able to carry me, but he's flapping really hard. There he is. Malcazar, my scouts have been keeping a close eye on the Black Marketeer, and it would seem that his guests have arrived. It would also seem that he has hired more than a few men to stand guard. Common thugs of no consequence, but they nevertheless pose a threat. Even so, I feel compelled to apologize. This is far beneath a man of your standing, and Commander Lavier needn't have dispatched you hither. But powerful men ever have need of a loyal, able-bodied friends. Having found one in you, 'tis only natural that he would come to rely upon you without hesitation. Now then, we should make for the burning wall without delay and secure those weapons. The first unit will ensure that clients do not escape. With me, Malcazar. Later. Oh, wait for him to leave. That's what's going on. There he is. I spy the one man, but there are sure to be others. I have a plan. While you approach the sentry and create a distraction, my men and I will slip past and catch the Black Marketeer unawares. Once you've disposed of the thugs, wait for us as outside the tunnel entrance. Any questions? Then let us be off. Good luck, my friend. They act like I'm like the only one that can teleport. Who goes there? An adventurer? Damned fool. You should never have come here. I was wondering. Bodyguard head. It looks like it's a whole body to me. Flying behemoth. Perfect sense. I don't understand. What's this all about? Grog! Someone's getting wrecked. Ilbert, you killed him? As you can see, this is a fine mess. When I tried to restrain him, he drew a hidden blade and lashed out. But before I could disarm him, one of my subordinates panicked, and this is the result. How foolish of me to underestimate the bastard and to bring an inexperienced recruit. Commander Levier will be most disappointed. Let me switch to Scholar and I can resurrect him. Damn it all, a golden opportunity wasted. As for the clients, though we know not how they slipped past our perimeter. At present, the first is currently tracking a party of dusk white cell swords we suspect may be them. Whether we could have enlisted the aid of the immortal frames with the brass blades, unless we're here to aid them, they're in no position to aid us. Well, at the very least, we have secured the weapons. And even that accomplishment is lacking, for the information we received indicated a massive shipment, and this is anything but. I will join the first on their hunt for the dusk white cell swords. If the gods are good, we will catch them before they escape into the Black Shroud. In the meantime, I ask that you deliver these weapons to Ul'dah in my stead. Entrust them to the third's Yu Hase. He will take care of the rest. Alright, where is he? He's over in the Steps of Fall. Looks like Weaver's Guild is the closest spot to teleport to. Hopefully I clicked the right one. I was pretty close to not. Looks like I got it. Sweet. And kaboom! Over here? There's Wilrid. Yeah, there he is. Cool. Hey, Yu Hase. Ah, the Warrior of Light, ever reliable friend of the Crystal Braiths. You have my deepest thanks for your assistance in Kurthis. Now it brings you to us this day. Here's the whole crate that I carried this whole way. Invisibly. Vunk. A gift of weapons from a certain black marketeer, courtesy of Captain Albert, you say? Ilbert. Understood. Once you've cataloged the contents, I'll have them delivered to the Hall of Flames. This cannot be everything, can it? Riel stated with confidence that there would be a far greater quantity of weapons. A blatant falsehood. Clearly Riel is unfamiliar with the ways of Ul'dah merchants, whoever strives to present themselves as greater than they are. You should be thankful that his information was not completely erroneous, and that we managed to achieve anything of worth at all. It's still something worth celebrating, isn't it, Lieutenant? Besides, we've got more important things to worry about, like fighting those Garleans up north. There'll be no fighting if I have anything to say about it. Our orders are to stand watch, not to seek glory in battle. If you have no further need of this, then I shall take my unit to the cerulean processing plant. Time for the fourth to earn their keep, eh? We'll fight well, Aliad, for the freedom of all. Excellent work as always, my friend. Rest assured that the Immortal Flames will hear of your contribution until we meet again. Alcazar, a word if it please you. Not here. Look for me at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. No need for whistling this time, don't you worry. Something is afoot. That'd have been faster to go up there. Oh well. Sounds like I got a new follow. Hello there, Manolia Meow. How you doing? Thanks for indulging me request. I'll get to the point. At the Burning Wall, when you and Captain interrupted the exchange, what happened? Tell me everything. Leave no detail out. And thank you for the follow, Manolia. That's not quite how the first told it. Those dusk whites they were chasing. Latest word is that they lost the trail. But you never saw them yourself? Not before the fight started, and not after? Something ain't right. I don't know what it is, but I can feel it in me bones. I'm not daft enough to be misled by some merchant's drunken boasts. Our information was reliable, goddammit. I knew he purchased those weapons. As if I've never deciphered a moneylender's books, or had to follow a transaction back to its source. Did plenty of that back when the Braves were getting started, believe me. The commander wanted assurances that we weren't taking gil from the wrong sort of benefactors. Of course, these days, the money flows like water, and the first and third get the shiniest new toys. Forgive me, my friend. I have a lot on my mind these days, and I appreciate you lending an ear. Right then, let's get back to it. Alcazar, can you hear me? It is Sataru. Your presence is urgently requested at the Rising Stones. Please come and see me as soon as you're able. Okay. Come on, get loaded. Thank you for coming so quickly, Malcazar. We have a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak with you. A most, determined lady, by all indications. Our guest is with the antecedent to the Solar at present. Let's not keep them waiting any longer, shall we? Hey, it's Lucia. We got some voice acting? Or do I have to read?
We have a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak with you.
Perfect.
I believe the two of you have met.
We have. I had hoped to speak with Commander Leveilleur as well, but I cannot afford to wait any longer. The Lord Commander sent me hither to request your aid in a matter of grave import.
You see now why I had Tataru summon you.
Any one of you could have summoned me. It didn't have to be her. Make
Now
it take a little bit
that we are all
longer.
assembled, perhaps you would be good enough to elaborate on the nature of the matter which brought you to us.
The Observatorium's astrologians have sounded the alarm. Last night, the Dragonstar burned with an intensity not seen in 15 summers. Not since the Dravanians engaged the Empire in the Battle of Silver-Tier Skies.
The northern sky doth burn full bright upon the Wormlord's call. The red behemoth beckoneth, and flame consumeth all.
The old Curthan rhyme, aye. The brightening of the Dragonstar is said to accompany the roar of a great worm. The astrologians believe that it was Midgard Soma himself who cried out on this occasion.
After an absence of centuries, the King of Kings did return to lead his kind against the might of Garlemald. Only to fall in his duel with the Agrius, proud flagship of the Garlean fleet. Devoid of life, his corpse remaineth entwined about the Magitech monstrosity even unto this day.
Ariange has the right of it. Whatever this alteration in the Dragonstar portends, the Great Worm has shown no sign of life. Tataru, have the Domans reported aught out of the ordinary?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if Midgard Soma had roared, wouldn't we have heard it here in Revenant's Toll?
Roar is but a figure of speech. Dravanians can communicate in ways beyond our ken. It is for this very reason that we are forced to look for signs in the heavens. We cannot say with any confidence that a great worm roared at all, much less that it was Midgard Soma. Only by directly examining the Keeper of the Lake can we be certain. However, it will take too long to gain the Holy See's approval to dispatch the Temple Knights. Therefore, Sir Emmerich would entrust this task to you. Do you accept?
Nod. There it is.
We knew you would not disappoint us. Now, if you would excuse me, I must return and assist the Lord Commander. We have precious little time to prepare.
To prepare for what, pray tell?
When a great worm roars, his brethren cannot choose but answer. We prepare for battle.
There's gonna be some fighting going on. Forgive me if I state aught which you already know, but I would ensure that you understand the nature of your destination. Why did they voice act this? As Urianger stated, what we now call the Keeper of the Lake is the wreckage of the Agrius, former flagship of the Imperial fleet, and the corpse of the worm responsible for its destruction. 15 years ago, as the next step in his campaign to subjugate Eorzea, Gaius van Balsar attempted to seize control of Mordona. So massive was his force that all thought his victory was a foregone conclusion. But an unlikely ally came to Eorzea's aid that day. Midgard Soma, legendary guardian of Silver-Tier Falls, burst forth from beneath the waters of the lake and led a host of dragons against the Garlean warships overhead. In what would later become known as a Battle of Silver-Tier Skies, the Great Worm felled countless airships before engaging the Agrius. In the ensuing struggle, the flagship's cerulean engines failed and it tumbled into the lake below. Yet this victory came at a great cost, for the explosion which followed claimed the life of the Great Worm as well. That same explosion transformed Silver-Tier Falls into the desolate wasteland it is today, drained the lake of its waters, and crystallizing ether from malms around. Yet a remnant of the lake remains, and at its center a constant reminder of that fateful day long ago. In accordance with Sir Emmerich's wishes, our Doman allies have been standing watch over the Keeper of the Lake. It would be wise to speak with them before investigating the wreckage yourself. Be careful, my friend. We know not what dangers await you within. Now then, let us not neglect our task. There's much to be done, and precious little time to do it. Everyone gets a nod. Heck yeah. Wish it would show me outside as well, but I have to leave first. Come on. Okay. There it is. The Agrius with Midgardsormr wrapped around it. We'll talk to the Domans over here and see what they have to say. Really? There we go. Sucks I have to be off my mount to talk to people. You're in luck, sir. I was about to send word to Revenant's Toll about the Garleans. Of late, I've seen small airships, likely from Castrum Sentry, come and go from the Keeper of the Lake. Though I cannot say for certain at this distance, I believe they may be salvaging something from within the wreckage. The Castrum supply lines have been cut for some time, and I'd wager they're desperately in need of spare parts and other equipment. Explain, explain, explain. So it's true then. The Ishgardians honestly fear that the worm might rise again. Well, from here that seems rather unlikely, but if it's assurances they want, you've no choice but to inspect the corpse in its entirety. Easier said than done, given the creatures which inhabit the wreckage, and the aforementioned Garleans who won't take kindly to your presence. They're sure to fire upon an airship, so I'd advise a more stealthy approach. Take this boat, and a few of your comrades to the base of the Agrius, then climb to the top. That's the only viable approach, I'd say. Alright, new dungeon. Heck yeah. I'll go ahead and probably get this done, and then I'll probably be done streaming for today. Or at least for now. Okay, so... where is it? Keeper of the Lake. Going. 5 minutes. Ugh. Is there anything here I can do? Hunting log? No. Maybe I can go participate a little bit in this fade over here. Get off of him. And there goes one of the seasoned adventurers. And finished. Cool. Thank you for the health, even though it's gonna, once I'm out of battle, it'll regen itself. Do so fairly quickly. Come on, get me in. Get me in. No more fates nearby. That other one disappeared. Maybe it ran out of time, or maybe it was completed by other adventurers. Adventurer! Won't let me dismount over a spot that you're technically not supposed to be in. See, what did I get? Yeah, I didn't open this because the stuff I have is already better. It's 130. I'll do so eventually, I guess. Do I have any tribal currency? I do not. Get those by doing their Beastman dailies. And we can buy stuff from their merchants. Where's everyone going? Should I start working these hunting logs while I'm waiting? I'm over the average time. Central Shroud. Might as well. Watch. Teleport. Ding. No, okay. How many times does that happen? Where I'm in the middle of the teleport, it's loading the next zone. And it's like, hey, you have a group. Putting eye and death gaze, so they're over here. Yep. I know some of them are over here. Yep. What? One of them up there is coming down. Abomination. Nope. Alright, so now I need to find floating eyes. They are over at the manor, I believe. Yep, I was correct. And done. Oh, no. That one takes 4, not 3. Alright, next is Upper Lenosia. If I don't get into this dungeon soon, I'm gonna have to leave. Come back another time. Okay, so what do I have here? Lenosia Bronze Lake. So they're in this area. Okay. Oh, there's one right there. This is kobolds up here, which I do not need to worry about. Immense. Heck yeah. This is one of my favorites. I like this dungeon a lot. The music's great. I think it's just a lot of fun. The last boss actually has some mechanics you need to worry about. A bunch of different things. Let's see if I remember everything. Cod piece clipper. That sounds painful. Look, they're all pretty experienced. They don't have the little sprout. They have the actual the flower. And I forgot how far you needed to get into the game for it to actually change. Oh, that's right. Eat. Get my extra 3% experience. Thought I was close enough to this guy. Apparently not. Oops. First boss. If I remember this boss, there's going to be a lot of those dudes up there are going to drop like bombs, and if you hit them, they go away, or they not go away, but they will be pushed away. And then when they explode, as long as you're not near them, then you're good. Oh, he has a big old gun on him now. Or maybe he had it before, I just didn't see it. Nope, yeah, he keeps changing weapons, so now he has a cannon. That's what I thought. Now they're all going to explode. Alright, so we have to knock them out of their little AoEs in order to have them not activate. That makes sense. And he is dead. Now we're on to Garleans. He still hit me with that, whatever. Their alarm's going off. This thing's huge. Let me destroy this field inducer so we can get this guy out. Blocked. Oof. You got me with that, but that sucks. The barrier is no more, and neither is that annoying alarm. Heck yeah. Next boss. Be a lot of fire on the ground. Oh, it's still going. It's a constant one. Okay. It's not just a one-time shot. So he targets someone and then he drops all that stuff on the ground. Oh, and ads, of course. I got the piece of gear that I can't use anyway. Alright, who's gonna drop the fire on? That person. So usually when you get that, you want to go to the edge. That way the fire's not splitting the arena in half. Get over the edge. There you go. Hey, look, so people who know what they're doing. Awesome. Are you gonna do it again? Dang, that was kind of annoying. Just going all over the place. Who's shooting at us? Oh, Magitech gunship. And once we beat these guys, then a hole will open in that little pile of rubble, and we will be able to continue. He's gonna shoot it. Thanks for helping us out, dude. Appreciate it. Paralysis. Nice. These are getting wrecked over here. I love it. And I can blow that one open, and then where are you gonna go? Just takes off. Alright, and here is the last fight.
now upon my bones, and waketh me from slumber sweet.
Me. I'm gonna beat you up. Come then, thou shalt be weighed in the balances. Receive of my breath, and you shall live once more. Oh, he brought his buddy back to life. So that Astria comes down. He's gonna drop something which we have to use. Otherwise, it kills us all. Except for me, apparently. Well, they didn't activate it, so... that's unfortunate. Really sucks is you have to go back to the last boss you were at, so you need to walk the rest of the way. This is the good music right here. I'm walking on his bowty. He's huge. All right, take two. Activate the dang thing when he's going to use his, you know, one-hit kill on everybody. I believe this guy's going down slower than last time. Oh, I got it. But not everyone was in here. And we have nobody that can resurrect you. And I have no way to heal myself. We might as well just die, because without a healer we can't make it. Even if we had a summoner that could throw a little bit of healing out. Into thee place my spirit, rise my child, join the chorus. Ow. Oh. Well, that's that. Unless these guys can whip it out. Very unfortunate. Oh, now it's just the dancer. And he's gonna get wrecked real soon. Maybe he might be able to pull it off. That was wow. All right, roll on this loot. Got it. Got these real quick. Okay. Now we get to get some more. I got all three commendations again. Excuse me. Time for some story.
By her gifts hast thou earned a moment's reprieve. Speak, mortal, and I
Blah, 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 blah.
Guided by a star. My people have heard the song. Ishgard shall burn. Sons must answer for their father's misdeeds. We do not forget. We do not forgive. Seven children did I sire. One now singeth of retribution.
So it wasn't you who called.
I rise to join in the chorus. Thou art powerless to silence us, mortal. Yet thou shalt not live to labor in vain. Thy reprieve is at an end. Trickery is thy shield. This frail, ignoble creature is not gifted, but chosen. Hearken to me, Hydaelyn. I remember, and I consent. Fear not, mortal. I shall not harm thee. Mayhap thou thinkest me an oath breaker. Thou art mistaken. If thou comest to harm, it shall be by another's hand, not mine. I did but strip thee of thy mistress's feeble blessing.
But why? Why would you do that?
Thou didst profit much by her grace, but no more.
Aw, little dragon.
Their covenant binds
What covenant?
I shall watch, listen, and wait. Fight and struggle, if it be thy will. Man hath ever coveted that which lieth beyond his grasp. I drink of her body, and thence doth mine own find new life.
So did he take that power?
Grown whole, the loyal and penitent shall rejoice. The dragon song heraldeth our beginning and an end.
So did he take the power and make himself little? You may now summon him a swimmer in its minion guide. I'll do it manually. I was beginning to fear the worst. Were those explosions I saw? But you shouldn't waste time talking with me. Alphino left a message stating that you will return to the Rising Stones at once. Seeing as there might be quite a bit of talking, and I unfortunately have somewhere to be once I get over in the area, I will be stopping for now. And then we will continue maybe later, maybe tomorrow night, which was my scheduled stream time, 8:30 to midnight, Arizona time. Anybody out there watching that is not yet following, please do so now. It is free for you, and it really does help me out. This video and any other videos I record are all being uploaded to YouTube under the tag Malkazair. So please check that out if you want to watch the entire journey up to this point. Go ahead and subscribe and send some likes over there as well, and any comments if you have any. Until next time.